Marlene, aka Snow Gardener 307. Thank you for coming back for video number 2 on my new channel. If you are brand new to this channel, you may want to go back to video number 1 to see what this channel is about, what I'm about, what my journey has entailed so far. In video number 1, I did cover a little bit about me quitting my job 3 months ago to be a full-time YouTuber and creator. So I left the sheriff's office. Here we are over 3 months later. I am loving being able to not work shift work, to enjoy the beautiful weather out. And you guys, I have to give you guys a huge thank you for all of those you guys who have subscribed. I am over 400 subscribers already on this channel, and that first video had over 1,000 views. So compared to when I first started my first channel, we are blowing up on this channel. Now, of course, it decided to be windy today. I do have to tell you guys that I already filmed this video yesterday. I was sitting in my office and, you know, I chit-chatted with you guys a little bit, and then I flipped the camera around and we were looking at my desk. I started editing that video this morning and I decided, you know what? I don't want that kind of feel on this channel. That is for the budgeting channel. So I decided to come out this morning. I didn't know it was breezy and windy, but here we are. We're gonna film. We're going to deal with the weather. And you guys, I'm hoping it's not too busy or too loud behind me today. This is the busiest weekend that our town will see. It is Friday morning, and here comes a car. Is it gonna be too loud? Here comes 2 cars. Busiest weekend our town has all year. We have a celebration called Rendezvous. This has to do with the history of our town and our area and all of the things that came with it all the way in the past. And so our visitor center has a big statue of Jim Bridger in front of it because that is part of our history. Also, you guys, if you've never researched the county where I live, I do live in Sublette County, that is in Pinedale, Wyoming. And we are a very rural community. We have no stoplights. We now have only one fast food restaurant, that is Subway, and it is not in my town anymore. It is in a town about 30 miles south of me. And the only law enforcement, I tell you guys this because I know, is there are no PDs, there are no town law enforcement whatsoever. There's the sheriff's office, and then our backup is the highway patrol. So a little bit about where I live. It is beautiful and gorgeous out here. You guys, this is one of my happy places. Sitting out in my yard, I'm sitting under a big chokecherry tree is what I'm sitting under right now. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I love flowers. You guys, if you watch my budgeting channel, you see I have a huge garden budget. Behind you is the reason why. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what today's video is going to be about. Today's video, we are just going to touch base a little bit on the financial side of me leaving the sheriff's office. We're going to talk about what I made this last month. And now when I talk about what I made this last month, just keep in mind, like YouTube, it's actually, you know, in June, I'm getting paid for May videos. And Etsy, I get paid towards the beginning of the month. I take once a month pay. And so like for my June, my payday was at the beginning of the month, so that can count for May sales. Another thing to keep in mind is that Etsy sales and payouts do not correlate. It's not an entire month. So it might be like the first 5 days of a month might go towards the previous paycheck. So just keep that in mind. So 4 numbers, you guys, I've got them all written down right here because I already filmed this video, as I said, so I am going to read the numbers for you guys. I thought this would be a little bit nicer, a little bit more relaxed, and that is kind of what I want on this channel. And so in June, the money that I used for my budget for Snow Gardener, and of course to pay myself with all of the income streams I had, was $4,837.65. Now this number, I am happy with this number, but this number is actually very low compared to my numbers last year. And if you've followed along on my journey, you know this year has been quite a struggle with family losses, leaving my job, and just my mental health not being where it needed to be a full-time creator. And so my finances have been hurting. However, you guys, I set myself up for success before I left the sheriff's office. I set up an extra amount in a separate account to help me pay for my bills if I needed to. I didn't want the stress of going, oh my goodness, I need $2,500. Oh, there goes one of my old coworkers behind me. I didn't want to be like, oh my goodness, I need $2,500 for my bills and my expenses this month, and after paying taxes, I don't have enough money. So I did set myself up for success there. And if you are interested in leaving your job and starting a business, whether it's being a creator or whether it's maybe you want to change, career fields or something like that, make sure, if you can, before you take that leap of faith, that you set yourself up for success. And so that has taken a huge financial strain off of me, and I'm so thankful for that because of numbers such as this. So first of all, YouTube. I get paid for my other 2 YouTube channels. I will let you guys know that my second channel, my Snow Gardener 307, that has grocery hauls, cooking, gardening, that's all the stuff that I want it to have, didn't have a single video in June. I think it had 1 video in May. So I may have earned $3-4 on that channel. That is one thing that I am working on building up again. And of course, I am starting this channel. I am hoping that this channel will get monetized, but I didn't start this channel for money. I started this channel as a different type of channel for fun for myself, because I love this type of content. I love to watch it, and I wanted to create it to hopefully inspire other people. So that's YouTube. And as a reminder, YouTube keeps 30% of everything, all ad revenue, all of the money that you make. So if you give somebody, like a super chat or something like that, YouTube's getting 30%. Just keep that in mind. And so speaking of that, most of my income, about 75% of my income, comes from memberships off of my Snow Gardener 307 Budgets channel. And I broke it down for you guys in the other video, so I will talk about it, but not as in detail as I did on the other video I already filmed. So I have 4 levels. My top level Georgettes are $14.95 a month. For this, you get extra videos, you get a free physical challenge every single month, at least 1. There are at least 2 or 3 months out of the year where you get 2. You get a digital challenge, you get a monthly budgeting kit that is for the current year with the designs, plus you get discounts, you get to do pre-sales, you also get to be entered into my members only giveaways where I pay it forward to other creators in the community. So I tell you all of that because yes, I'd love it if you join my membership if it's something you can use, but I tell you that because of course my membership is $14.95. YouTube keeps 30% of that. So 30% of that is $4.50. So that drops my income from that down to $10.49. And then I did some other math. I wanted to see how much on average it costs me to mail out the challenges every month. And on average, it's about $1.50 to mail those out. So that drops me down to an average income of about actually $9 per Georgette member, which is amazing, you guys. And of course, that just helps me to be a full-time creator. And I'm hoping that it helps those in the budgeting community with what they want. We also have my second level is Fred Jr., and it's $9.99. The biggest difference there is that you do not get the budget kits. You get a smaller discount, stuff like that. And so of course, after the challenge and YouTube takes their cut out of that one, I make about $5.50 from that per month. And so, it's not a lot, but it sure does add up. And my lowest level is 99 cents. By the time YouTube takes their cut, it drops it down to 70 cents. But that's just a little bit of extra support. Like, I have some people that I am members of just because I love watching their content and I want to help them in their journey. So that's my YouTube income. My YouTube income has went down. It was at the highest I saw, it was at almost $2,400. And here comes a truck. Oh no, it's a car, but it's going across the side street. But it's an older muscle car. So I keep saying so. That is my word of the video. If you want to play a drinking game, you might want to use the word so. Etsy. Let's talk about Etsy. This year for Etsy has not been amazing. Last year for Etsy, you guys, I've got my numbers right here for Etsy last year. Etsy last year, this time of year, for my June Etsy sales, I had $15,000 in Etsy sales. Spoiler alert, I have barely made that in 2025 for the entire year. So that's another story, maybe for another time. So Etsy sales. Etsy sales for May were $1,767.93. Not too bad, not amazing. Compared to 15,000, not great. But it still sells. And I hadn't been creating the products, so I understand that. Now, what I took home from that after Etsy fees and everything was $1,190.10. Now, remember, what I take home and the sales do not correlate exactly, because some of those will go towards my next paycheck. So let's talk about what Etsy fees were for that. Etsy fees were $196.69, marketing was $48.13, and shipping was $141.86. So that is what comes out of that. Then I've got my website, and I did do a pre-sale for a brand new product that is out now, you guys. Oh, I should have brought it for you guys, but this is not the budgeting channel. I have a new Christmas book that's out. I did something completely different. It is not a scratch off. It is professionally printed, and it is meant to be more cost friendly for those of you guys that are buying. Also for me, the reason why it's more cost friendly is it does not take all of the work to mail it, to create it, to put stickers on it. So for my website, I had a profit of $682. Now, when I say a profit, I'm just saying after the fees that I paid, after, any of that stuff. Now, one thing to keep in mind on my website is that I pay the shipping after that, because I don't ship through my website. I actually use Pirate Ship. I find it works best for me. Then I started offering budgeting services this last month. And it was my first full month that I offered the services, and I had several clients. I made $958.53 for that. If you're interested in that service, please send me an email at snowgardener307@gmail.com. I do not anticipate having that much in revenue this month for budgeting services, because some of the people that got the budgeting services because they were willing to share their journey with me on YouTube are going to get free budgeting services this month. And why does it have to be windy? Because I want to film outside. And then last but not least, I did get a little bit of Amazon income. I got $21.28 from Amazon. This is if you click my affiliate link for any of the things I click or I link down below. And so, for example, a lot of people ask me about the numbered paper clips that I use in my monthly binder. If you go below my videos in the doobly-doo, as Christine calls it, and click on one of those links, I may make a small commission. I don't share those with you guys to make money. I share those with you guys because you guys ask about the products I use, and because these are products that I found that I absolutely love. Now, one thing that I am thinking about is getting into sponsorships from companies and doing sponsored videos. But I'm not there yet, you guys. And that is not one of my top goals. Of course, you guys, I do need to make money, right? I need to make money to live my life, to pay my bills. And you guys, my love language is travel. Just in case you guys didn't know, my husband and I love to travel together. We love to spend time together. And so my total income, as I said, was $4,837.65. Now keep in the back of your brain that taxes still need to come out of that, and also any expenses for my business. Now let's touch on expenses really, really quickly. The way that expenses work, the way that I do it, does not correlate with any of the sales or anything like that, because I have sinking funds that I use for my business. So last year, when I had those really big months, when I had a $15,000 month, I put, thousands of dollars into my supply category so that I'd be able to order books like the books that I just ordered, right? The ones that I told you guys I just launched. That is how I work my business. So the good thing is because I put the money away in the big months, the shorter months like this month, it's okay if I don't put money into every category for my business, because I still have money that I'm able to use. Now I've got some new products that are going to be coming out. I am reaching out to some new vendors. I am working on a lot of different stuff because I want to diversify myself, you guys. I want to make sure that me leaving the sheriff's office, me giving up a career with pretty dang good pay, I want to make sure that I can support myself, that I can live the life I want, that I can travel with my children and possibly grandchildren in the future. That is what I envision for myself. Another thing that is so important for me, and I think I said this in the last video for both Mr. Snowgartner and I, is to ensure that we can continue to give. We love to give to others. I love to pay it forward to others. That is why I just started doing the members only giveaway, where instead of buying stuff for myself, because you guys, I have so many products, I don't even know what to do with them. Instead of buying stuff for myself when I see it and I like it, I'm now buying brand new products from other shops and other creators and doing a once a month giveaway for my members, because my members are those that support me. So that is another thing there. So let's talk about expenses. And you guys, if you notice, I've got different glasses on today. It's because I broke my other glasses and they weren't even that old. But the bad news is I reuse the frames and they're super expensive. This is one place, this is the only place, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but all of my glasses are Tiffany and they're not cheap. And I don't know why I do this to myself, but again. All right, so let's talk about expenses. Like I said, really quickly. So for June, the expenses that I priced out as far as my need for taxes and such, the expenses I had were $2,079.38. That's a lot, right? Considering that I had an income of $4,800 and I put $2,000 back into the business. I had Amazon. Amazon included mailers, cellophane bags, bubble mailers. I did get a whiteboard, a few office things. And then postage, you guys, I spent $300 on postage. Now this time it included the pirate ship. This means that orders from my website, things like that. But with pirate ship, I put a chunk of money onto it and then I continue to use the money. So there's still money there. I will let you guys know, I just went to the post office and spent hundreds of dollars on stamps because the stamp is rising again, going up by 5 cents. My members get a mailer from me every single month that I put a stamp on. So I bought 1,000 stamps. That's right, you guys. But that's going to save me $50. They're just going to go into my safe. I'll use them. That should last me about, with my membership levels where it's at now, I hope it does increase, but I figure 5 to 6 months. So that is an expense I won't have to worry about. Then I've got commissions of $257.10. I pay my sister-in-law commissions for all of her original artwork. And I also pay Renee from Reinventing Renee, aka Budget Nerd Co. I pay her a small commission for What the Duck books. I use Shut the Box in that book, and she is the original creator of that. I know you see Shut the Box all over, but unfortunately, those ideas were stolen from Renee because it was her design. But of course she didn't copyright it. She didn't do that, but that takes a lot of work. So I just wanted to give her a kickback. I try very hard to be creative and to create my own ideas. And, I know some of the ideas are very basic, like there's tic-tac-toe. I didn't come up with tic-tac-toe, right? I didn't create a sticker challenge. I didn't create a scratch-off challenge. But I try to be very careful and use my own things. All right, so then we've got Etsy. This is for my members only giveaway. I spent $36.40 on that. Vistaprint, you guys, I had a lot of printing done, so I spent $988.15. Here comes a loud truck. The joys of filming outside. But it's beautiful out here. All right, and then I have an Epson printer that is my arch nemesis that I pay monthly for, $41.59. This is the second printer that Epson has sent me, and it has never worked right. It has lines in it, so I can't even use it how I wanted to use it. I do use it for like my thank yous, because they're just little freebies. So if on the back, if it's got a design and it's got a line through it, I'm sorry, but sometimes that stuff happens. The wind is messing my hair up. And then I spent money on Happy Planner. I am going to open the box with you guys. That's right, you guys. The next video you see is going to be very short. We're going to talk about Happy Planner expenses. We're going to talk about why I spent it, what I'm trying to do with it. Maybe I'll show you guys my office on the next video too, just in case you haven't seen it. It's going to be a short video though, you guys, because this girl is going out of the country and she doesn't have a lot of time to film, but she wants to do a short little video with you guys that week. And then last but not least, I include YouTube subs in expense for my business, and it was $50.94. The reason why I do this is because those creators that I subscribe to send me products that I then open on my channel. So expenses $2,079.38, income $4,837.65. Now you guys, I would love to do a Q&A in the next few weeks, and I need your help gathering questions. So if down below you could go ahead and give me some questions so that I could film a Q&A, I would absolutely love it. So it can be questions about my business, it can be questions about my town, it can be questions about my journey. You can ask any question you want. If I don't want to answer it, I won't. That's just how it goes, right? My channel, my rules. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me for video number 2. And until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.